All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Merriman?
Here.
Mr. Mattern?
Here.
Dr. Scarpone? Not here. Fiscal Officer Ms. Morrison? Here. Solicitor Mr. Lynn?
Present.
Mayor Mike Petrella?
Present.
Administrator Mr. Kasegi?
Present.
Mr. DeStefano?
Here.
Mr. Spence?
Here.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Here.
Will everyone please stand for a moment of silence in the pledge? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, we would need a motion to pass the minutes from our last meeting on February 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Is there anyone wishing to appear before council this evening? All right, moving right along. I will turn it over to our solicitor for the reading of our ordinances.
The first ordinance is resolution number 2024-08, a resolution providing for transfer and establishing estimated revenue for the Village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules for resolution 2024-08.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Could I get a motion to accept resolution 2024-08?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
The next is ordinance number 2024-9, an ordinance amending section 185.01B2 of the codified ordinances, which is part of chapter 185 titled Income Tax of the Village of Wintersville, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Need a motion to suspend the rules on this one?
Yes, we do.
I'll put forth that motion, suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 2024-9.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Miss Dameron?
Yay.
Thank you. Just briefly, the first resolution council passed was a transfer from the general fund over to the police disability and pension fund. And the second ordinance we did tonight was just changing our percentages on the RETA income tax of where they are distributed. All right, there are no announcements tonight. On to reports and communications, I do not see Mr. Lockhart this evening. Charlene, do you have anything this evening?
Yes.
All right.
Good evening, Board. Mr. Lockhart, he's sick with the flu.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right, Still Valley, we just had a meeting. The building grounds, they met to open bids for receiving for a bus wash. They only received 2 bids, and both were higher than what they expected. So Mr. Turner, what they're going to do is put it on hold, and we voted on to rebid for the bus wash project. SVRTA has a grant for this. Right now, ridership is at 10.2%. Cross Creek Township, Louis Vanderborn, Wintersville Chief of Police. A marketing meeting will be set up with him, with Still Valley, to discuss transit service process for Cross Street Township. Adam Street Properties, Ohio Department of Development grant. Still Valley has not been able to contact with Silver and Environment Consultants to schedule the Adam Street cleanup. We're still waiting to hear from them. Mr. Turner went over the profit and loss. That's concerning the adult passenger fares, the driver's salary expense, administration salaries, mechanic salary expense, hospitalization, service and building maintenance, and et cetera. So we went into executive session, but so on. It's going to be 3 openings coming up right now into the next month with Still Valley. And with all that, that was the meeting tonight. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. All right. Moving on to the mayor's report. First, I want to thank council and actually everybody up here, along with Melanie, Dr. Scarpone, and Chief of Police. We had a great finance meeting this past Monday, so thank you all for being there. Great meeting. Just a reminder to the businesses, we are closed on President's Day. Garbage pickup for businesses only will be moved to Tuesday. Just want to recognize and thank Austin Vanderborn and Officer Jake McGinnis. We had an elderly woman had a minor crash right by Burger King, and Austin Vanderborn was the first person there helping the elderly woman out of her vehicle, and Jake McGinnis was the first officer there. And we got a couple calls to the department and thanking them for their kindness and helping her. And I know Austin was carrying her groceries out of her car for her, so thank you, Austin, and thank you, Officer McGinnis. Both went a little bit above and beyond for an elderly lady. It's great to see that in the community. We want to keep in our prayers Captain Fabian. He is currently hospitalized with some medical issues. We want to keep him in our prayers this evening. We also want to keep in our prayers Dr. Penny Scarpone. She had a procedure done on her knee today, so just everybody keep both of them in our prayers this evening. Remind council, should be in our packets here tonight, the permanent appropriations. We will have to vote on that for the next meeting. Please review that. It is due at the end of March. If it's not in our packets, we'll get you a copy before you leave. I know we had a couple questions on Davy Resource Group. You might have seen them around the village. Yes, they are a legit company. They are assessing utility poles for fiber optic lines. They're checking clearance of poles to nearby buildings, if there's any weeds, prior to installation of new lines. So I've had a lot of calls on that. Yes, they are legit. They're been very friendly. So that is who Davy Resource is, if you see them around the village. Citizens, we do have a lot of projects going on. I know we've gotten a few calls. We are going to be getting to the cold patch. We've been dealing with a minor spring/water break that we've been trying to get repaired, street signs, a lot of different things happening. Still our meter project, which Jesse will talk about, so just be a little patient with us. We're trying to work efficiently and as diligently as possible, so please just a little patience with everybody. And that is all I have this evening. I will turn it over to Jesse for our administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, first thing I did look at is we ended up doing a bond for our fiscal officer. I talked with Melanie that we needed to have her bonded, which is smart regardless. So we went through McBain. I got it's a $100,000 bond, which is $413 a year for it's for a 2-year term. So I advised them to go ahead and do that because, and we'll have to put in our policy that fiscal officers should be bonded. Being that said, also, you're going to notice there's some damage to the fence down on Walnut Park. So I contacted Fencing Unlimited. I actually talked to them, called a couple other places for our fence around our fuel tank. We have to put a fence up, 6-foot fence and ballards and everything. So the gentleman got back to me quickly. He's going to be doing our fence at the fuel pump. So I ended up calling him because this damage that was going on down at Walnut Park that needed done, and he came up today and stated that he'll get started right away. Some of that fence was not commercial grade. It was thinner done. Some of it's rusted out. He's going to replace everything that needs replaced and make it look nice, because I told him, I said, a lot of people use that park. I says, we need to get it fixed. So that will be done within the next few days. Also, you've been seeing crews out on Sienna Woods at Caddis Road. So make a long story really short, there is we thought was a spring, partially was a spring. It's been leaking into onto the sidewalk, onto the business there, the driveway. As you pull up, when it gets cold, it's a thick chunk of ice and people are sliding, and when they're coming down, it's a hazard. So the guys started digging on Monday. They found one leak, then led to another one, and led to a third one. As you see, they were going up the hill towards Sienna Woods. So I went down there today and talked with Mark Marcus and Ryan Gorby, and they were explaining what was going on. There's a water line that was put in around 2000 from that actually from where they were at up to Sienna Woods, like 160 or 146 feet long, and they exposed it. For some, I don't know if it was a break in the past or whatever. The backfill was not done correctly. There was vacated lines that they had no idea where they were going. There was some exposed conduit from something from whenever it wasn't in our mapping system. So they did a lot of hand digging, which meant that this was going slow. So they around 2 o'clock they were finishing up on the third leak, and hopefully that's it. And they got to do a bunch of backfill. So that might be something down the road that we might have to replace. That I don't know who put in that piece of water line. It's a 6-inch line, iron ductile. So, but it wasn't done correctly from talking to Mark. Mark's got many years' experience in water. So that's what's going on there. That's what held us up on other projects. So I do apologize for that. Water meters. So we're down to around 320 meters left to install. As I said, 90 of those are businesses. We did send out postcards 2 weeks ago. We'll send out postcards again in 2 more weeks during billing. A lot of people have called. Like I said, 90 of those are businesses, so those are different meters. Those aren't 3/4. If they are 1 inch, then we're okay. If they're not, we got to order those. We've ordered 25 of those meters that were not put in the original bid, so that's going to cost us some extra money. So 25 have been ordered. They're not in yet. So I will get more of a detailed on how many are left and how long it's going to take for these meters to come in. Worst case scenario, which is actually not a bad case, is a lot of those we're going to probably end up doing our installs ourselves, because when we get down to the wire, let's say we have like 100 people that are left to have their meters installed in house and businesses, the plumber doesn't have a full day's work, and he's kind of like self-employed. He's going to go on and move on. It'll be up to us to put those in, which is not a bad thing, because we will save about between $160 and $210 per install. That's what the company's charging us. We can get a little bit of that money back that wasn't put into the meters that were not 3/4 or 1 inch. So that's kind of so I calculated if we just did 90 meters, if we installed 90 meters on ourselves, we would save about $14,900. So that could offset the cost of these meters, because they're minimum $200-300 a piece. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, Newman Plumbing, the phone number is 888-437-0078. Call between 7:30 and 3:30 p.m., or you can email them at newmanmeters@gmail.com. That's NEWMANMETERS@gmail.com. She will get back to you. If she doesn't get back to you, call our office, 264-7171. We'll get you, we'll help you out. Just get them scheduled. We'll work around you. And, on another thing, we do not go into your house and we don't cut access panels into your wall. We're not carpenters. We don't do that. And when you get upset at us because we don't do it, I'm sorry. You want to expose that meter anyways, because if it's 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday and you spring a leak, you gotta kick a hole in the wall and get to it. So make sure you make arrangements, and we'll come in. And literally, the plumber was in my house for no more than 7 minutes, and he went outside and spent another 3 minutes to put the transponder up, and he was gone. That's it. It's easy. So if you have any questions, give me a call. The USDA loan, we're getting ready to close on this loan. One thing I do need, and I don't think I've asked in the past, is that there was an adjustment on the equipment. We're not paying any more money. It was money that was earmarked in the original project in 2020, so it was $375,000. When we were getting ready to close at the end of the year to start over for the new year, there was $57,900 that was not used yet, that was already earmarked and given to us. That was the police car, aero board, cones, traffic cones, which come up to a total of $57,990. I got like 75 cents left out of this project. If I can get a motion, if at all possible, that everybody here in council understands the adjustment of equipment. It's not costing any more money. The USDA needs to know that we've accepted that and understand what the grant entails.
So you need a motion to approve in the understanding of the purchase of the SUV aero board traffic cones. Okay, I'll make that motion, salt spreader.
I'll second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Thank you. All right, moving on, the dog park, Phase 1. After last council meeting, when I went back to my office, I emailed Quicksall, advised them, I gave a verbal agreement through email that we accepted Sweet Meadow Farms as a company to construct the Wintersville Dog Park in Phase 1. We will be having a meeting soon with them and Quicksall to get things started, and I'll have all that information when we have that meeting. So he sent out everything to all the companies that were involved, and we got sent a copy of, we actually had all the bids returned for our records, and then I should know something by the next council meeting. The tuition reimbursement that we brought back, I did the rough draft, and this is pending the solicitor and council, reads it and see what changes are needed. I talked with Solicitor Lynn earlier on the phone. I'm going to revamp it. He found some other information from other municipalities and in his experience. So when I get that completed, I was going to have it tonight, but I'll have it for the next meeting. and that way we can move on from that. Facebook page. So when we launch this Facebook page, there is going to be a letter that's going to go out the first thing on the face of the Facebook page explaining how this is going to work, how there are going to be no comments at all, absolutely no comments. It's going to be an informational only page. I also sent that to Jake Lynn. He's going to read it. He's going to look at it. We're going to change it, and then council will have, I'll give you a copy as well, whatever changes we need to make, so that way we're all on the same page and this is legal and legit. That's all I really have right now.
May I ask a question? If
Yes.
the Facebook page is for information only, where do they go for questions?
They can call me on the phone. It'll be all in that letter.
Okay.
There'll be a list of contact information, because it's a lot easier to pick up the phone and call than put a question out there, because I'm for one not going to monitor Facebook. I just don't have that time. And if let's just say council says, well, we want to have comments, that's fine. I want nothing to do with that. Because there's just no time to do it. I mean, there's just no time. And, if we had a public information officer, yes. But just call me, or email the office. I'm going to have a list of all the contacts from the police to the water to the sewer. You need to talk to me or something, you need to talk to the mayor, to the administrative assistant, there's a list. Email, call, we will get back to you. I've never not returned a call since I've been here. And by all means, that's the best way to get the problem answered, because if you're putting a question out there, you're wanting an answer from us, it might be 5 minutes, it might be an hour or two. And like I said, I don't have time for that. I'm not the person that does it, glues himself onto the Facebook, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's the best way. Then that way we just don't get into a verbal or whatever. Just call. If you have a complaint, just call. Just call in and we can get it all handled.
Wrong information being put out there.
Yes. We will give you correct information if you call in. Because then you can say, well, the administrator said this. Yeah, I did say it, so yeah, I could put it on me.
Jess, I got it. You briefly touched upon the Walnut Park fence being damaged.
Yes.
Is it damaged? Was it just getting old, or what happened?
I think a lot of it was wind. It's just been neglected. There's been no reports of any vandalism or anything like that. It's just old damage. It's just over the, from the winter, cold and freezing, warming up, just some things that need repaired. There's nothing like a car ran through it or anything like that.
That's minor.
Yeah, but it's all going to get taken care of, because the gentleman said that the one fence side is rusted. It needs replaced. There's a couple brackets, a couple poles. I said, everybody use it. A lot of people use that park. I said, it needs to be safe. So.
Yeah, a lot of people do use that park. Take their dogs down there. It's real nice. Real nice facility we got down there. No chance of anybody getting hurt in the meantime.
No. That's why I told him. I said it's a priority, and I talked to his secretary this morning. He come out this afternoon, gave me a report, and I said, let's get it done.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
I got 2 follow-up questions. Have we got any lines on anybody who possibly may want to purchase our old water meters yet?
There's a couple places, yes. Bridgeport would be one of them. Possibility of that. I talked with George. We have to pressure test those, and I said, okay, what's involved? He says, really easy. I was like, well, if you can teach me, I can do it as well. It's like a 10 or 15 minute thing of pressure testing, and they all have to be pressure tested, and then we can start selling them to, whoever.
Okay.
Put it out there, different municipalities. I'm sure there's people up and down the river that could use them.
And you mentioned earlier we're going to the possibility of getting Melanie bonded. Are we going to do the same for Rachel?
No, Rachel is bonded.
Okay.
Yeah, Melanie, I believe, is already bonded. I believe.
Okay.
With her job, I think she has to carry it. But Melanie told me last Saturday when we were working on the permanent appropriations, she's like, we need to get her. And I was like, well, how much? She's like, at least 50, 75, or 100. So McBain, since that's our insurance company with everything, I told them, I said, we need to get this. And she's like, okay. And it was like a 2-year deal for like $413 a year. And she's bonded.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
I'm going to touch on one thing briefly since you brought up the water meters. because I've been getting a lot of calls. Citizens, just so you know, I know everyone's saying, oh, we raised water rates because your bills are higher. No. It's because your old meters weren't working correctly. So your new ones are actually reading the water amount correctly. So your bills might be higher, might be a little lower, but no one raised your water rates. When the county comes back with their contract, that will have to be up for discussion who we purchase it from. But at this moment, no one has raised your water rates. It's just the new meters are actually doing their job, just so you know. I've had a lot of calls and very nice people on the phone yelling at me. But
Jesse, when we sell these or these water meters away, do we have to calibrate them or that's just
That's the pressure testing, yeah. We just have to do that part of it. And then we'll have to find out what we will sell them at. I know a lot of companies found out that we were, well, however they find out that scrap companies want to come in and they want to scrap them, take them, which, okay, that's fine, but like a lot of people need these.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a hot commodity, especially the brass ones. So if we can get a good price, I'll ask a couple of we'll ask Jimmy Jenkins, who's our operator of record in sewer, what a good price is, and then, go out from there. I do have one more thing I forgot. So apparently there's an online company called Doxo or Doxy or something. They're doing online payments, third party, through and they're paying, you can pay your Wintersville water bill through them. I guess it is legit. I talked to the water girls because a lady called and said that she didn't get paid or they didn't pay her bill, whatever. We're not affiliated with this company. I don't know who they are, but they are legit, and they have a list of AEP, Columbia Gas, and different stuff that they do. So they're like a third-party company that you could pay through to pay the water in Wintersville, but we are not affiliated with that. Our water online will not be released until our website is up and launched, and we either go with First National Bank through their portal, or we use a third party through our billing system, our new water system. We haven't decided what we're going to do yet. That will be the very last thing because the water meters have to be ready. The billing system, since we're going to a new system, is up and running. And then once we get our our web page for the village, we can put that URL in there, and then we can start doing online. So hopefully that'll be soon. That'll be the last thing that we're going to do, and we'll have this meter project wrapped up. So thank you. That's all I have.
thank you, Jesse. Moving on to unfinished business.
I have one. Okay, so I've been having 2 or 3 complaints about recreational vehicles and driveways. Can we go back and review that ordinance one day? That with vehicles in driveways, cars and stuff in front yards, when people have been complaining about it.
Yeah.
Boats, campers.
Council will just have to call an ordinance committee meeting.
Review that.
Penny, Gail, and Jason Matter, council rules and ordinances.
We'll check that out one day.
Anybody else for unfinished business? All right, moving on to new business.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. In the minutes that we just approved, the February 1st, 2024, under the administrative report, it says, I said we have always gone with the lowest bid, and we was talking about the dog park grant. Mm-hmm. I didn't go back and watch the video or not, but if I did say that, it's kind of, I misspoke on this. We've always gone with the lowest and best bid, okay? So we don't have to go with the lowest bid. Let's say Jesse gets a quote from somebody for $100,000, and he's worked with them in the past, and they've just been, a train wreck. Somebody comes in higher than that at 105. Jesse can go ahead and say, "Listen, this is it's within reason the cost amount, but we don't always go with the lowest bid. We go with the lowest and best bid, and that's exactly what we did this last time around on the dog park. So I just wanted to clarify that. Nothing major, but just wanted to clarify that part.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else for New business?
Go ahead.
No, well, since we don't have any winners anymore, what are we going to do about the salt situation next year? Because we didn't have any room for last time we had salt when we bought it. Are we going to buy any more? Or are we going to hold up?
We still got to buy,
We still have to buy some this year.
we still have to
Well, I'm
buy
saying-
like 700 tons yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought because we had leftover room, we put some across
Well-
creek, we had
well-
more than enough for,
Last year, when I got here, they already bid 1,500 tons. So this year,
Cut that in half.
we cut it in half. We're actually, they were down like 900 tons. So I talked with Randy, I says, what do you think? 900, he's like, it'll start with 900. We have to do 90% of that 900 to fulfill our contract. So we just did 150 tons. We just bought 150 tons 2 weeks ago. And we could probably put another couple hundred tons in there. So we're going to be close, but I think we'll get it. And if we need to readjust,
yeah.
we can readjust it down to 800, you know what I mean, within reason. So, but no, we still have, Cross Creek still holding our salt. God bless them on that, because we had nowhere to put it.
Thank you.
Is that the last payment we made to Morton Salt, the one for $8,751?
Yes, that was our
For how many ton was that?
150 tons.
Okay. I got something for new business. We discussed at the finance meeting, since Penny's not here, about moving a part-time position up to full-time. I spoke with the solicitor about it, that we could probably make a ordinance or resolution for that at the next meeting.
Yeah, we can make it retroactive to whenever her duties start. So that way she gets paid if she's starting now. I'm not sure when you guys are actually.
Next week,
We can make it retroactive to whatever her start date is.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and make a motion to move the part-time administrator position to a full-time administrator position as a floating clerk.
I'll second. Is that what we need to do on that part?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But also, if you want to wait for the ordinance, we can do that. But you can do a voice vote now, just to say that you're requesting the ordinance. That's how you.
Let's request the ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I do roll call? Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
That's it.
Anybody else for new business?
You were checking on the other one from the finance meeting, right? For the amount of hours from 2016 to 2017?
Yes,
for individuals?
yes,
Okay.
I'll have, yes. I want to make sure I have the exact number correct. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing up here.
Okay.
All right, we already handled the one transfer and it passed earlier. We would need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
All right, all we need is a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Our next meeting will be Thursday, March 7th, 2024 at 7 PM. This meeting is adjourned.